In this video, we're reacting to She Called Streaming Slavery. I'm pretty sure she's just gonna be talking about how people sell their souls. You know, that's a narrative with the streaming stuff and with everybody like Kai and everybody that's very, very successful and popular. I bet that's probably what she's gonna be talking about. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
She been comment me.
Always said the biggest influencer will be somebody who gives their.
Why is it right
What's
here?
poppin', y'all? We actually got an interesting
promise I ain't
take
watched it.
from,
I promise.
I don't know if legendary is the word because I'm not in the right audience, but when it comes to longevity, she has been here for quite a long time, and that is Quenlin Blackwell. She decided to call streaming digital slavery. So I'm gonna play you guys that clip first, and then we're gonna get into it.
How do you feel about Twitch? I know you do it sometimes. Is it something that you want to do more?
Let me see how to make this nice. I think I have always said the biggest influencer will be somebody who gives their life to the internet. And that's what streaming is.
Yeah.
And I respect it down. I
Okay.
think they are the Don Julios of internet creators.
Yeah.
Would I ever do it again? No. Because
Choose your stream?
it gives a sort of digital slavery vibe to me. And I don't want to be a slave. Wait.
That's crazy.
Wait.
I mean, that's a.
I actually agree with her. And this was all in part with her
I feel
complex
like-
cover. So for some people that don't have an overview on who this girl is, she's been on the internet since she was in the single digits. I'm talking about
Yeah.
years old. Like, I think she was uploading on YouTube and
Like
Vine
9 or
when she was 10
something
years
like that.
old or something. Because she's only 24 now. And the first time I had ever seen or heard of her was on Vine maybe 10 years ago. So she did some stuff on YouTube, and she also, I think, like, did some stuff. I don't know if she's doing some mainstream stuff now. I think she's going to be in an HBO series. She's done a lot of modeling. That's what she's most known for. But I am a bit perplexed by individuals like her. They've been able to transition. I don't think of her as a Lele Pons because Lele Pons at her peak was just explosive when it came
Who is
to
that?
how popular she was. But to get to her point, when she talks about Twitch, she got asked about Streamer University
who that
and
is.
said, the social experiment, Kai, that's running on society, yes, I've been watching Streamer University. I was very sad that me and Larry didn't get calls from Kai Cenat. So she wanted to be a part of it. So she doesn't look at streaming as a negative. So that's what some people will probably take from that clip. And then she goes on to say, Kai Cenat is a genius. Anything Kai Cenat does, I bow down. Same with Speed. I love Speed and I love Kai Cenat. And if they would have asked me to be in Streamer University, I would have went. Kai Cenat is a genius. The reason why...
Did she submit or apply? Because wanting to just go is different than asking to go. A lot of people ask to go. I think almost everybody asked to go. So I feel like if she would have just asked, she probably would have been like in there if she really wanted to. But I feel like what she said, like, I'm not against her. I feel what she's saying, but it's more of like, no matter what you do, can't one call what she does YouTube slavery? Or is that just outrageous? Is that a bad take? Basically, slavery can be seen, especially from her lens, like saying streaming is slavery from her perspective seems more like it's not like you're doing the crazy. Well, I don't know. These niggas are doing crazy shit. Kai changed the game up for real, but I feel like anything that you're grinding, you can call slavery. I don't agree because she's doing her YouTube slavery. But I feel where she's coming from. And she's actually I kind of feel where she's coming from. But I would just need to hear more, you know?
I think she called it, or she also got asked about music. So to give another take, she said, I think the music industry has been co-opted by non-artists. I think it started off with non-artists. If you think about it, it's always been by non-artists. They're the ones who commercialized it. Other than that, artists used to just play for fun. And if we talk about music being sold outside of performances, that is quite novel within the past couple of 100 years. Before that, it was performances. You weren't listening to music alone was a foreign concept until recently. And by recently, I mean the past couple of hundred years, maybe even less than 250 years, because
We
to
don't even
listen
listen to music no
somebody
more.
had to be playing the music, and for someone to be playing the music, there had to be at least two people. So it was a communal thing for the most part. But we're not going to get into like a history of music type thing. Although
I feel like we listen to music, but like music has become such a background character. Like we'll turn on music to do something. We don't just sit around listening to music like this. I was just watching a Kanye documentary again yesterday, and I was watching him as he was making it. I'm saying like, I'm saying this out loud. Like they played. She said she wants some mom. I'm not about to start singing, but played that, and they was all just dancing to this slow ass song and stuff. And I'm like, you can't even really dance to this or whatever. But I don't know what point I'm trying to make. I'm just saying absolutely nothing. I'm about to just.
I do enjoy looking into that stuff on my own. And then she says, and so it's like nothing is in favor of the artist at all. What do you mean you have 1 billion streams and you can't pay rent? I don't know anybody who's in that situation, but it's hyperbole. Oh my God. And I just don't want to do that. And I also don't have a love for music enough to be like, it's okay, I'll get 3 nickels, but I love this tune. So I'm not going to be no musician. So there is fairness here. However, circling back to the streaming point, I agree with her because streamers are slaves to the next big thing. They are slaves to their audience, and they don't even benefit from their biggest moments. Like, for instance, Streamer University is, I'll just give you 3 different streamers who all, it's like, what have you done for me lately is the type of deal with streamers. Like, for instance, let's say you think about a director or a rapper or something. Mm-hmm. You think about an album, and you're like, man, that album. Or a director, you're like, man, that movie. You're not saying like, yo, when's the next one coming out after you finish watching a movie? And you're like, yo, I expect the next one in a couple of days. Like, for instance, when...
Shit, so, damn. Nah, his shit is good. Oh my goodness. If my shit ever tell me to chop my shit, but I'm going ski bald. But I just watched what is it, Children? What was it called? Weapons. Movies like that, thrillers like that, I'm walking out saying, when's the next one? They usually don't have next ones for thrillers, really like that. Like Get Out, stuff like that. But if the movie good enough, you're gonna be walking out saying, hey, when's the next one?
Blackboy Max was streaming every single day and uploading
I'm telling y'all, my shit's ever like this, tell me.
For 6 months straight, and he doesn't stream for 1 day. His fans are all saying, man, he failed the challenge. He said he was going to do 365-day challenge. This guy was creating events. He was wilding out. He was going crazy. And this is another thing, is the seasonality of not a streamer, but every other producer of whether it be content, music, film, is they work hard intensely on a project and then they take some time off, they recoup, and they come back. You can't really do that with streaming. I mean, just the way it's set up. Let's say Blackboy Max. Blackboy Max quitting streaming for a month? His income probably dropped maybe 30%, if not more. That is a huge.
But you could say his income dropped. That's cool, and I agree with that. It probably did. I don't know how much he's making, but like, if you do more, your profit goes up. And I'm only saying that to say you have to identify that it's not just oh, you're going down. It's like, but you can also go up. So who cares if it goes down? It's like if I work at a skill and then I stop working at it, I'm gonna get worse at it until I pick it back up again. There's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like the problem comes in when the people are like, yo, it's been 4 days. Where's the stream at? It's like, all right, we're used to artists and directors or whatever, how we explain, giving their art to the world, their piece of their brain to the world. And then we give them time to recuperate as we're digesting that for like a year, months. With a streamer or even YouTube or content creators, you could be on TikTok. I heard people making TikTok videos every day, like 10 of them. They're like, you want to be successful? Drop 10 TikToks a day. Now, a lot of the girls are just doing like dances. But like, if you really got to come up with things and drop like 5 TikToks a day, you do it and see how hard that is. I mean, I never tried it, but I think that's where a problem comes in when people start expecting it. I feel like that's what he's trying to say too. But I just feel like this point right here about the salary dropping or whatever, it doesn't really make a difference, or like that's not a key point to what he's trying to prove.
Drop off. Now, granted, a similar thing can be said about YouTube. It may be a bigger drop off. It depends on the type of creator. It depends on a lot of different things. But for streamers, it's across the board. It's like that. And let me give you just 3 separate events, like I said earlier. Aiden Ross. This guy did a live stream with Donald Trump. Now, regardless of what you think about political figure, a live streamer doing a stream like that is just, it's huge. But it feels like, oh yeah, that's the thing that happened. The gravity of what happened, it doesn't stick. And I think it's because of how frequent streams are expected. Like, for example, I Show Speed jumped over a car. And not only did he jump over a car, he jumped over a car twice.
Was this real?
2 cars.
This wasn't real.
The other. Like, it's mind blowing. Yet people are like, oh yeah, I remember he jumped over a car, because he's just constantly one-upping things, and it's like you get to a point where, of course, ideas never run out. But I'm just naming you guys 2 things that would have made you that are just like once in a lifetime things that you can even think.
That's why Mr. Beast videos. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? We are forgetting about Mr. Beast videos. 2 years ago, he's been doing crazy shit for like 5 years now. Since 20, well, I want to say the big shit, like the giving away $1 million for like 3 years. 3 years now. One YouTuber can do that one time and no one would have forgot that. No, one celebrity could have did that one time 7 years ago. We would have remembered that. Mr. Beast is doing that over and over and over and over. You can't even remember his 10th last video. His first video 2 months ago. Oh, what was his like, if I sit here and say, what video did he post last month? You're not really gonna remember. You might remember one, but like, you might not even remember one. You might be like, because he's doing so much shit, you're forgetting. I've seen Agent go from here to this celebrity thing to this thing to he's in Africa. How are you in Saudi Arabia? And then by the time the video's put up, niggas back home streaming. And people are like, when are you going back out here? When are you going back here? Have you ever traveled and been somewhere away from home for like more than a week? When you get home, you're not thinking about your next trip. But the people viewing are, because they're not actually going on the trip.
Talking about,
I'm cooking right now.
Streamer University. I do think that's had a longer tail than 2 of those, than those 2 streams by both I Show Speed and Aiden Ross, but I think it's because there were more streamers involved with Streamer University, and that's what caused it to have a longer tail. But Streamer University, just the logistics of that, and it happening in a weekend, it's incredible. It's an incredible feat, to say the least. But Mafiathon 2, that was last year, right? That was insane. But like after a month or 2, people were like, okay, like what's next? Like what's the next event? What's gonna happen
and
next?
It's like, damn.
And I think it's because of frequency. Like, for example, let's just take the whole catalog of Kanye West. And this is why I think it's a difficult conversation to have when it comes to the quality of a project or an album, because the frequency of dropping can actually harm the perceived quality, because scarcity will always not always, but usually scarcity makes something more anticipated. Like, for instance, if we took Ye's whole catalog and we dropped it for like what is that, 12 projects? I don't know, I'm just saying a random number, and we dropped one each week, by the time you got to 808, people were probably gonna be like, yeah, that's mid. And this is the thing, since the album sits less of a time, there's less time for it to be consumed. By the time he drops the next project, whatever opinion was had about that project, because it's so much little time,
you can't grow to learn the song,
they keep that opinion. Like, for instance, with Playboy Cardi, he dropped Whole Lotta Red, and he sat down for a long time. If he dropped another project a month or 2 after, the sentiment around Whole Lotta Red, I believe, would not have changed, and people would have still thought it sucked. But he let it sit, and people only had that to go back to, and they kept going back to it. Same thing with movies. If your favorite director dropped that, even if it was that level of a quality of a film, day by day, or like, let's say once a month, you would get fed up. That's just how we are.
Yeah.
It's like eating, even no matter how great a dish is, you will lose your mind if you eat that every single day. Eventually, you're gonna get tired of it. Even like depends on certain sugars, but like certain cakes,
I feel
you
like
may love a
I'm
cake,
always
but after a
saying
while you're like,
it's
man,
not
I cannot
necessarily
have any
ever
more of this.
about
Please
like
take this away from me. And that's like
the
streaming, except the
quality of
expectation
something
of
or like
streams
something
are
that
way
tastes
higher,
really good
especially
or something
now.
that
You're
feels really good
constantly
that you're
competing
doing.
with
It's
these guys, and I
always
think this
the
girl
difference
understood, like, yo,
between
I am not built
this and
for that,
this.
and a lot of people aren't built
If
for
that
that.
makes sense.
But
I don't know if
the
if
reason
that
why
even
I
makes
kind of
sense to
feel
anybody.
bad for streamers is because you're only as good as your next stream. And as the expectation
Facts.
grows
It's like
higher
it's like
for
any
streams, it
sports
takes more
game. You
time
only
to
as good as
produce.
your
Like the
next one.
fact
You
that
got
Guy
one up,
Sinat is able to
and we gonna
stream as
forget your last
consistently
one
as he
unless it was
does,
like
whilst
historic.
planning these huge launches, these huge brand deals, and these huge streams and marathons is something I've never seen before. Mr. Beast does it on YouTube, of course, and he's
Yep.
far ahead in schedule, but he's got a gigantic team. Like, these guys are performing, but this is another thing. Like, Mr. Beast himself, who's not a streamer, he talks about how he's beholden to this huge beast, for lack of a better word, no pun intended, that he's built. So all
Yeah,
of
he
these
can never
employees,
stop.
he can't just be like, yo, I'm gonna chill out for a couple of months. Are you gonna keep paying those salaries? So now you're gonna be bleeding, your income's gonna drop, or are you gonna fire all of those people who are reliant on you to make an income? So you're in this position where the beast that you've created, you're stuck with. And that's the situation that these streamers are in. And I do think a lot of them love it, but I do think there are times where they're like, man, there's so much pressure on me. And it's not like once they turn off the stream, they can stop. No, they turn off the stream. Let's say they're streaming just 6 hours a day. They're sleeping 8 hours. So you've already got, what is that? You've got 10 hours left. 8 plus 6.
Come on, quick
You've
math.
got 10 hours left. And then what are they doing in that 10 hours? A lot of it is planning the next stream because they're expected to stream tomorrow. There are rarely
For real.
streamers that succeed that do a stream once a week, which is what I think would be fair. Like television series, for instance, they would have an episode once a week. But streamers are expected to bring the heat every day. Well, not every
That's
streamer.
'cause of this
because
thing
some
right here.
people, like for example, like a Shroud, that guy, they just expect them to hop on, play some games, or like a Summit 1G, things like
Yeah,
that.
I
Even
feel
an
like
excuse.
the biggest thing is that it depends on what type of person you are and what type of person you put out. Because if you're consistent, they gonna want you to be consistent. There's no ducking that consistency. And once you're not consistent, they gonna be like, I don't watch him. He don't really upload like that. Before he used to upload 3 times a week. Now he's really just, or he used to stream 3 times a week. Now he's just streaming like once. Like, bro, once not good enough. The same quality, the same, maybe even longer, but just once a day. That extra hour in that stream on a Wednesday, you're going to forget by a Friday because everybody else is not doing that unless you come out the gate. Like someone like, y'all know the outdoor boys, Tom, or the dad. He posted, I don't know, not a lot. It wasn't very consistent. It was like at a certain point it was, but for what he does and type of person he is, he's perceived as, okay, whenever you drop, we're gonna support it. We're not just about to sit here and say, come on, bro, I'm not watching no more, you don't upload. He got one of those, and it's very few. Like, Kai's one of those people. They say it all the time. Y'all can hear everybody talking about it. It's like, well, I'm streaming. Kai usually stream on Thursdays, like once a week. Sometimes he'll take 3 weeks off. But when he come back, everybody's there because it's just Kai. They just want that. They don't care. I'm watching Kai today.
But when you set the standard, and that's another thing, when you set a high standard, people hold you to that standard.
Yep,
so
I just
people like
had that.
Speed,
I'm
Kai,
really big
and
brain.
Aiden,
Like,
they're like, okay, man, we get it. And their viewership
you
dips
just
as
woke
well.
up. Why you
So
look
now
like
you
that?
become a slave to the numbers. Because you're like, damn, I just did an event and I had 150K viewers and now I'm just chilling and I've got 30. I can't stay at 30. I need to do something else to try to up it or at least get back to where I was. And that's where I think she was getting at. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was saying. He was saying the exact same thing as me. And not that her thing was bad or wrong or her point was wrong or we took it how she meant to say it. We know how she meant to say it. She was right to a certain extent, but everything is like that to a certain extent. Streaming, YouTube, whatever, it all could be seen as slavery. It depends on how much effort, how much work you putting in. It really depends on how much money you want. But without further ado, that's the end of the video. Please check out Hello video down in the description. The full video will be linked down there. If you ever want me to watch something, if you want me to react to something, DM me at he's a problem.12. I'll probably put a card in right here somewhere like in the middle, just so that it's always there, so that it'll always just be there probably. Yeah, that's the end of the video. Peace.